Welcome to Earth 2, where superheroes exist and comic book talk is the norm. I'm your host, Vito D.
Mo Crosby.
Welcome to the planet.
Welcome to the planet.
With this giant plethora of movies that are coming out this year, Mo and I decided to give you a rundown of what we like so far, as well as what we're most excited for this year. Mo?
So based on, like you said, what we've liked so far, because what I've liked so far, it varies. So that being said, what I've liked so far is I'm taking one from a DCAU. DCAU is the DC Animated Universe, and I'm taking one from the LCU, which is the Lego Cinematic Universe. Believe it or not, that is a real thing. I looked it up, and it is. So from DC Animated Universe, I've been excited about Justice League Dark. Reason I was excited about JLD was because they brought Matt Ryan, who played Constantine on TV, which I love that show. Canceled for whatever reason. That was a good show, by the way. They brought him back to play Constantine, and I really enjoyed that. We got to see the dynamic between Constantine and Zatanna play in something like a live action or cartoon. Yeah. We got to see Deadman. But what amazed me most about that movie is who directed it, J. Olivia. Yeah, he was the guy who did the very, very great Assault on Arkham.
Well, he always does like a whole bunch of like animated movies.
Yeah, so his direction style on that movie, to me, and with the DCEU bringing that to live action at some point with Dark Universe is what they're calling it now. Who have never read the Hellblazer comics, this is your intro to the Justice League Dark, and they had Batman in it, but he played a very, very minuscule role in it. And so that was we got to see a lot of those Justice League Dark characters, and Etrigan was in it. Jason Blood was in it. So these are people that I also like. Besides your big Justice Leaguers, this is the mystical part of the DC universe. They tried and kind of failed in the actual Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to bring in magic as soon as possible, and I understand that. And they tried and kind of failed with it, but this was a great way for them to segue from the Suicide Squad failure and show you what DC magic really looks like. DC kind of failed with Suicide Squad, but now this is a very, very unique take on DC's magic. And the second movie I kind of really liked, I said I was taking from the LCU, Lego. Before you go into that,
go ahead. Do you think it would have been better if it was Guillermo del Toro?
Yes.
All right. So do you think Guillermo del Toro would have done a better job at a live action movie for Justice League Dark?
Yes. But I also believe that who they have now for it, what's his name? The guy who did Live, Die, Repeat. Mm-hmm. I think he's also a great choice for it. But the movie itself is really good, and it's a very big scope movie in terms of the edginess of it, and I believe he can bring the edginess of that into JLD or Dark Universe when it drops.
Okay.
And so I again, with Assault on Arkham coming out before Suicide Squad, it got to introduce people to Suicide Squad, and with this movie coming out, it's gotten to introduce people to
the Dark Universe.
The Dark Universe.
Right.
Yeah. And my second movie that I've enjoyed so far this year, like I said, from the LCU, is the Lego Batman. To be honest, I anticipated the movie coming out, but I wasn't. It surprised me. It was really good. It was funny from start to finish, and it made fun of the character. It made fun of the character, and it made fun of, it showed you a different side of Batman, to be honest, because, I'm not really, like, the biggest Batman fan you can find out there. While I am a Batfleck fan, I'm not the biggest Batman fan you can find out there. But, so it gave you a different side of the character, and it was while we're going to have a lot of movies this year that are going to be doom and gloom, this was the lighter side of the comic book movies. You want to think it's not a comic book movie, but it is, because it's about a comic book character. So it automatically makes it a CBM. That's the major reason why I liked it, and to me it did its job. It was a very friendly movie. It was and I enjoyed it from start to finish. You guys are gonna probably attack me for not saying Logan. I have my reasons for that. We'll talk about it at a later time, or we'll reference it later. Yeah. But as for now, those are the movies I enjoyed this year.
The movie that I like most so far this year is Logan. It's not a surprise. Huge fan of the comic book. Mark Miller's story, along with Steve McNiven's artwork, and it's the biggest surprise for me because as I was about to go watch this, the only thing that kept on popping up in my head is how are they going to make this work? You have about 90% of the 90% of the characters that are in the comic book can't make it onto the movie because of the contracts and the rights and everything. Well, they did bring in the long road trip that they have in the movie, along with that, and surprisingly, I did enjoy it. I've pretty much never really enjoyed any X-Men movies before.
What?
it wasn't. I don't know. They never really clicked with me. But this one was much more than just a comic book movie. It was a story of a man. Hugh Jackman said it took inspiration from Unforgiven and it took inspiration from The Wrestler, which are both movies that are about the main character down and out on their luck. They're old, they're gritty, they're tired of it, and they just want to get on with their life and just pretty much give up for the most part. So seeing that finally just in the comic book movie, it was very Dark Knight Rises ish in that sense, where you see that he's old, you see that he's tired, he doesn't care anymore. And seeing Logan at the end care for little Laura, that was a big wow moment for me. And that's why I think at the end he says, so this is what it feels. He wasn't referring to dying, he was referring to actually caring about someone finally for the first time ever. So with that aside, you can we'll post up a link for our podcast, so we'll talk more into detail with this.
We'll get more into detail because there's a lot that I don't agree with, and there's a lot that he, especially with the whole I never really liked any X-Men movies. We gotta talk about that seriously. But yeah, so be on the lookout for the link to the podcast. It's gonna be on the Instagram or Twitter page, and it's gonna be on the links
on the description down below. What movie are you looking forward to this year?
Oh man, I'm in the black and silver. It is.
Technically, I am too.
You know what this means if you're a comic book fan. If you're a big comic book fan, you know what being in a black and silver means. Superman is returning this year, and he's returning in Justice League. And what I'm really excited for about this movie, apart from Superman returning and how Zack Snyder is going to handle that, is Aquaman. What we've seen so far from Zack Snyder about Aquaman, or what we know that he's going to do with the character, because Aquaman is being the joke of the comic book world.
Yeah,
he's been the joke. He's like, he talks to fish. I mean, that joke is even in that joke is.
I mean, it all started with like the Super Friends cartoon.
Yeah,
I mean, he used to ride around
on the seahorse. So my Aquaman, if I wanted a live action Aquaman, would be from the Justice League Unlimited cartoons, where he hacks his arm off to put that hook on when he had to save his son. That's the Aquaman I'm looking for, and so that's another reason why I'm excited about that movie. I'm also excited to see how Zack Snyder's vision that started with Man of Steel ends, because he always said he wanted to do a trilogy, and this is his trilogy. This is his take on it. So I really want to see how that's going to end, how he's going to handle it. So that's another reason I'm excited about that movie. I feel like that's the movie that will save the DCEU. If it's great and it's loved, that's the movie. And as a fan, I think it's going to be good enough for me at some point, but I want to see how the critics and the public will take that movie moving forward. So that's what I'm really excited about. How about you, Vito?
I have 2 movies I'm excited for. Kind of scared at the same time. One of them is being Power Rangers. I grew up on the Power Rangers. I had all the toys. I fought with my brother. I had the ones where you flip the back and then the face changes. One of the happiest days of my childhood was when my mom and dad bought me the whole set. Well, they didn't buy me the whole set. They bought me and my brother the whole set, and we had to like split it. Which ones we wanted.
Must have been difficult.
Yeah, they did the most of what they could. So I'm really excited to see how this turns out. I'm hoping that it's good.
Really serious with
yes,
it, right? They're not, before
everything is different, but I don't know if it's because different doesn't always mean bad. Different doesn't always mean good.
Yeah.
So I'm going in here pretty much thinking it's gonna tank, but hoping that it's gonna hoping that it's gonna be one of the best movies I see this year.
Well, I mean, aren't they're working towards a universe for the Power Rangers, right? They're trying to build a thing, because
That I don't know.
I'm hearing.
And actually, it doesn't come out next week. It comes out this Friday.
Yes. You know what I heard? I heard there's a cameo from 2 old Rangers.
Ah.
Yeah, you haven't heard that yet? I think.
Well, I'm trying to stay away from it because I don't want to be
have your hopes up. I understand. But yeah, there's a cameo from 2 Rangers. I read that. Again, we'll go into more talk about this, but we're just giving you the cliff notes.
Yeah.
Right.
And the other movie, being Wonder Woman, there hasn't been a solo female comic book movie per se. Marvel hasn't done it yet. I mean, they've dropped the ball. I think that they should have done what's it called, Black Widow movie, or at least try to make Scarlet Witch. We already know that she's like the strongest one in the MCU at the moment, so they should have done more of a focus on her.
But isn't it a thing with rights again where they can't really even, because you haven't really called her Scarlet Witch, they've just called her, they've been using her name, right?
Yeah.
Because technically you have Quicksilver here. Well, you don't have him anymore in the MCU, but then there's also Quicksilver in the FX cinematic universe.
Yeah. Well, either way, they dropped the ball with Black Widow.
I can see why they can't really do a Scarlet Witch, because that would have been a great one. Because if you're looking for a Captain America level type.
Yeah, because in Civil War, I mean, she could have easily just completely destroyed every single one, and that fight would have not existed at the airport.
But they closed down her power sets. So because they can't. I don't think you can really go into her power sets without mixing up your rights, and it's a tricky thing, these rights.
Or they could have done the Black Widow movie. It's the highest grossing actor.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it was all because of the success of Civil War. So interesting to see how it's gonna play out. We're long overdue for a movie like this, for a female movie like this. That's not pretty much. I mean, everyone knows that Wonder Woman's a badass.
In Batman v Superman.
Yeah, she was like the highlight of that for me. But it's interesting which way they're gonna go. If they're gonna go with the New 52 route, or they're gonna go with the pre-crisis route.
You know what about that? I really think it's 52, because you know how in 52 Zeus is really connected to her origins.
Yeah.
In this, I believe the Comic-Con trailer. If you watch that trailer again, there's a moment with her and Steve in a cave or something where they're both laying down, and Steve is like, "You've never met a man before?" And, "No, what about your father?" And, "My father is Zeus," or something like that.
I really gotta watch it.
I don't know exactly what it is, but this is something where it's like I think that happened. That was the moment. So yeah, I think so. If that's the case, aren't they going 52? Because pre-crisis, what was her origin? Pre-crisis,
Oh, that she was made out of clay.
Yeah.
That her mom pretty much molded her out of clay and prayed to the gods. Fell asleep, woke up,
and she
was there.
But in 52, they expanded on
what it was is that she had
an affair with Zeus.
She had an affair with Zeus right after that little war.
Yeah, and so I think in this movie where she said Zeus made me, they're gonna grab that from pre-crisis, and then they're gonna take the Zeus origins and kind of hide it under, well, you were made in clay, but the real thing is Zeus is your father. So they're going to use both and kind of make it play on each other. I'm really surprised that Wonder Woman is that highly rated for you. That's your most anticipated.
And we're long overdue for a movie like this.
Oh, so I guess that's what it is. But you know what it is? 2017 is the year women kick ass.
Yeah.
Because you have Atomic Blonde coming out. This is with Charlize. It's one of the guys that did John Wick is going to be directing that. And then you have your girl ScarJo in Ghost in the Shell. So I mean, she's not Black Widow, but you get to see her kick ass in the movie. 2017 is a pretty good year for CBMs and just movies in general, and again, it's a pretty good year for women in movies kicking ass. So I mean, yeah, okay. So that's it for my list of 2017 most anticipated and what I've loved so far.
Yeah,
that's it for you.
Yeah, but for more details we'll go more in details about what we talked about with Logan, Lego, Justice League Dark, and
what else?
Wonder Woman,
and also
in our podcast.
And also what else is coming out, because just in case this is not what you're excited for, you can down in the comment section let us know what you're excited for. Let us know what you've been surprised by in 2017 so far. It's been a short 2017 in movies, but there's been a couple movies that have come out. And let us know, even if it's not a comic book movie, let us know. We'll take those comments too.
Hit that like and subscribe button.
Please and
follow us on our Instagram and Twitter, Earth
Number two.
Comic Cast.
Individually.
Vito D Savage, all one word.
Mo Crosby on Twitter and Instagram. And this has been Earth 2, and you've been watching our Comic Cast. Peace.